All right, before too much time goes by, I wanted to hop on and hurry and do a quick solve walkthrough. I wish that me and John had a big fancy production team that could make this video beautiful with graphics and all sorts of crazy stuff, but I just think that speed's more paramount than making it beautiful. So I'm literally just doing this on Zoom, a screen record. Okay, so let's get started. I know the last few years we've done the poem hunt, we've pretty much followed the same formula, the same outline. The first couple lines get you to the trailhead, and then all the lines after that are pretty much things that you'll see on the trailhead, confirming you're in the right general area. So we knew, just because of the popularity of these hunts that's growing and so many people are participating now, we always joke it's us versus the internet. We knew we had to switch that formula up just to throw everybody off. So begin your search where time was transcendent, crack open the books, they're interdependent. We know that we're going through Utah history looking for important locations that were transcendent. And I think the key idea here is the word there. So right off the bat, we know we're looking for more than one location that we need to get information from. So then lift up your eyes and look for the mark, hike to the tree that stands without bark. I think a lot of people were closing in on this. We're actually looking for the marker number of the monument. And so the first one is actually Ensign Peak. And on Ensign Peak, there's actually a plaque, and the marker number is 43. So that's the information that we need from Ensign Peak. Now we go to the next line. Past the grain tower that looks out to the west, not more than an hour, you'll know by its crest. There's a lot to unpack here too. But that lorem ipsum clue that we emailed out was pretty much just saying, hey, refresh on your Latin, because the word grain is actually a root word for granite. So another way to read it would be past the granite tower that looks out to the west, not more than an hour, you'll know by its crest. And we also had the clue that said the word hour has multiple meanings. Whenever we have only a limited amount of space, 12 lines to pack in so much information, anytime there's a word like hour or any word that has distance, it usually has multiple meanings. And so there was actually three meanings for the word hour. The first one was that it's pretty much an hour from where you park the car to where you find the chest. The second one we sent out as a clue because it was a little more, vague. So it's 60 feet off the trail. And then the third meaning was the monument was actually 60 feet high. So we're looking for a granite tower that's 60 feet high that looks out to the west. And I think a lot of people too were closing in on this idea, but it was actually, this is the place monument. And we didn't actually mean for anybody to go to either of these places. I mean, if you did, it's fantastic because they're beautiful. Okay, so the second location is this is the place. But then it says, look down at your map, do not wander with thirst. Remember two less than on top of the first. So the first one was Ensign Peak. And if we actually go and look at a picture of Ensign Peak, what's on top of it is a sphere or a circle. So it's 360 degrees. And if we subtract 2 from 360, that gives us 358. So now our two measurements are 43 and 358. You'll know you're close where it's time to frown. So I don't know how many of you remember your math from 5th grade, but the actual notation for in math for like where two lines intersect is the upside down U or a frown. To how you denote where A intersects B. And so that's literally what we're doing on a map. And you can either do this with a compass and a map or online. And just for the purposes of this, I'll do it online. So let's actually go to the monument, and we're going to start a course, and we need to go 43 degrees from Ensign Peak. And over here, the azimuth is pretty much our degrees. Okay, so we got to zoom out, and we got to go 43 degrees, and we're just going to draw a line. Here we go. Let's see, where's 43, 39, 40, 42, 43, right here. Okay, and then from our second location, which we know is this is the place, let's go to the actual monument, and we're going to start a course, and we're going to chart 250 or 358 degrees. So we're going to zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. 358. There it is, like right there. Okay. But when I first did this, I thought that this shape right here looked like an upside down church. So the next line in the poem that says, what points towards heaven but is upside down? This is actually the steeple and the roof and the two walls. So this is an upside down church. And this gets you pretty close. So next two lines, get off the road at the airplane without wings. Okay, so this is actually the two movie references. And I think I saw a lot of people get this. So obviously the airplane without wings was Back to the Future. There were a couple ways to interpret this that were all sort of correct. Twin Pines Mall And also Old Man Peabody, just in the scene right before the airplane without wings scene, he was talking about how his whole vision was trying to breed pine trees. So we're looking for a pine tree and get off the road. I saw a lot of people got this one too. It was in Lord of the Rings where they get off the road and they kind of hide under the roots. That's essentially where we hid the treasure. It's a pine tree and we hid the treasure under the roots of a pine tree. Search from the shoulder and fortune it will bring. So for me, the shoulder was actually the shoulder of this church. It was either on this side or this side. So we're actually looking for a pine tree off the shoulder. And I think if we zoom in, I mean, let's see if we can actually do satellite view. Okay. If we zoom in, you can see that from this shoulder right here, there's not too many pine trees that are about 60 feet off. These ones are too close, these ones. So I think literally the treasure was under this pine tree, 60 feet off the trail. And that's essentially how you solve this year's poem hunt.